Welcome back to a brand new Goal Anchor video, and today Derby County have announced that they have signed Danny Batth and Andreas Weimann on free transfers after both players have previously left Blackburn Rovers this summer. Both players were offered contracts by Blackburn Rovers as was stated, but both players have decided to link back up with John Eustace and sign for the Rams. Obviously, Andreas Weimann has played for Derby County previously a fair few years ago now, but he's re-linked back with the Rams. He's currently 33 years old, going to turn 34 just at the start of the season, and we've got him at Derby County once again. And let's talk about these two signings and how important they could be for Derby County's season in the one that's coming. Danny Batth has been an ever reliable Championship central defender for a number of years now after coming through the Wolverhampton Wanderers Academy. He's been a part of some really good footballing sides that have achieved promotions in the past, most recently with Sunderland from League One when they got promoted there, and then also in 2017-18 when Wolverhampton Wanderers were promoted to the Premier League with that brilliant team and when they won the league. Andreas Weimann coming on a free once again after leaving Blackburn Rovers. Like I mentioned, he's currently 33-34. Both players are towards the end of their careers. This may well be the final club that they join, but I still think they have quite a lot to offer in terms of on the pitch performances. Andreas Weimann being the attacking midfielder slash forward across that left wing to right wing where he can play, and he's done damage to Derby County in the past, scoring a number of goals against us previously. And it's going to be interesting to see how both these players fit in to John Eustace's team. Now, Danny Batth is 34 years old, a central defender. He's played for 9 clubs across his career, starting off at Wolverhampton Wanderers, and his most previous club was Blackburn Rovers, managed by Derby County's manager John Eustace. And he averaged last season a rating of 7.01, which is quite high for a player who played the majority of the games that he did, and also at the age that he is. I know that defenders always seem to get that little bit better with age as they get older, but he is quite an experienced defender. And he contributed 2 goals last season as well. I still think he's got quite a lot to offer in the defensive position that he will fill in, because obviously Derby County, we primarily use Sondre Langas and Nat Phillips towards the back end of last season. Nat Phillips has obviously gone back to Liverpool now, has signed for West Brom. So there is a hole in that central defence that needs to be filled. And I think Danny Batth is a really experienced defender who provides that solid form that we're going to need to really build on what we achieved last season in staying up in the Championship. Like I mentioned, last season he was in really good form for Blackburn Rovers and a really reliable defender. And I'm hoping that he can be that for Derby County. I think he's going to really contend for that centre-back position alongside Sondre Langas, and obviously with Curtis Nelson coming back fit, he will challenge him as well. And it will be interesting to see whether Derby County make any more signings in that defensive position, because I do think we need a couple more for some stability and also maybe some youth put into that defence as well. But I think Danny Batth's a really good sign, especially on a free with him leaving Blackburn Rovers, and I think that's a really shrewd bit of business from Derby County, a player who's knowledgeable at this level, has been a part of some really good teams and been a part of some promotions, and he can really add to that back four that we're probably going to play next season under John Eustace. Now, Andreas Weimann has previously played for Derby County, like I mentioned, and he was a decent signing at the time. He was in and out of Villa's team that was struggling in the Premier League, and when we first got him in, it seemed like we'd signed a Premiership quality player, a player who's going to be at the top end of the Championship. And for me, I think he always struggled to put together a good run of form. I think being clinical and in the right positions, he always struggled to find himself. He played for Derby County 88 times and got 9 goals and 6 assists across all competitions. And as I mentioned, he just wasn't clinical enough for me and struggled to put together that good run of form. For some reason, his opening goal in the 2-0 win over Aston Villa, his former club, really sticks out in my mind in terms of Andreas Weimann. And he was always lightning quick, but I think he just struggled to get himself in those positions where he could score enough goals to really put together a good run of form. But he's done it at other clubs after leaving Derby County. He went on loan to Wolves, I believe, while he was still contracted with us. He then went to Bristol City, and I thought he was really good there. And he's been at Blackburn Rovers and been a reliable attacking player. Last season for Blackburn Rovers, he played a large majority of games and he got 7 goals and 2 assists, which is a decent record for a player of his age now and in the sort of twilight of his career. And as I mentioned, I still think he's got a lot to offer, and I think he's going to have to offer a lot next season. As it stands with Derby County's team, I think he's going to be coming in and filling that position that maybe Mendes Lang has left, and we need an attacking player from out wide who can be clinical. As I mentioned, he can play that attacking midfield role, and I think for me currently, based on who Derby County have, I think he's going to be contending with Kenzo Houdmine for me in that attacking midfield position. I think that's where he's going to be best used, and I do think he's going to be used quite a lot next season. I know John Eustace likes him and obviously Danny Batth. That's why they've both signed for Derby County, and John Eustace knows how to get the best out of Andreas Weimann to make sure he's in those right positions to put together that good run of form in terms of goals and assists, because that's what we're going to need next season. That's what we lacked last season, why we found ourselves in the position that we were in going into the final day, and we managed to stay up. But it will be imperatively important that Weimann can contribute to that, and I think his previous spell with us, I would have liked to have seen him had a better run of form. I think what these two signings say is that John Eustace is putting his stamp on the team with bringing in former players that he knows, and I think both these players are going to be really reliable for us in the next season. They're both really experienced Championship players. Danny Batth having a big career in the Championship and also in League One. Andreas Weimann the same, he's played in the Premier League for Aston Villa. I think after leaving us he had a really good career at that Championship level with Bristol City mainly. That's what first comes to my mind. But both these players for me are going to be used quite a lot next season. I think they really offer some versatility in their positions, and with them being so solid and reliable, I think they're going to be called upon a lot, especially when we go through those period of injuries and those players could dig in and put together some really good form. And as I mentioned, I just think they're going to be used a lot next season, and it'd be good to see Weimann back and see what sort of player he is now compared to when we had him in the previous spell. And it would be really good to see Danny Batth come in and provide that experience along the back line, maybe alongside Craig Forsyth in that left back position if we don't strengthen there again. But it'll be a really interesting. I think these are two really solid signs and positive signings, and shrewd business from Derby County to be able to pick them up on obviously free transfers, considering that their contracts have expired at Blackburn Rovers. And yeah, let me know what you think down below these two signs. Do you think they're as good a signs as I make it out? And we'll have to wait and see it until the season opens. But if you have enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow my social medias down below, and I'll see you in the next one.